What's up, y'all? My name is Andre Hopkins, also known as Entre Interview, and today I'm joined by Bang from 100 Thieves. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. Good to hear. So let's get right into it. All right, first question. How do you feel along with the team going into stage one?
I feel really confident in the team. I feel like practice has been giving us a lot of confidence because I feel like we're showing our consistency like very well. We've been adapting to the changes that have been happening. The Aura nerfs, the Waylay nerf. I think we're going in the right direction, and I'm super confident in how like the direction that we are going in.
Okay. Talking about the Waylay, yeah, I'll just hop right into that one. So, with
Yep.
the Waylay changes, I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to what 100 Thieves will do. I mean, we saw a lot of Timotino pretty much only played, if I believe, only Waylay during kickoff.
Yeah.
Do you think the Waylay changes will bring the character to a healthier place and lower the pick rate? And how does the team as a whole plan on adapting to the changes with such short notice?
Yeah. I do think that is a healthy change for Waylay, and I think it just makes it so that you have to be a lot more like picky with your hinder and how to use it. So I think it's a really good change, and yeah, we are adapting to that. Um, I feel like we're obviously I think Tim himself. I already said this in a previous interview, but Tim himself he was getting bored of playing only Waylay the entire kickoff. Like it's fun. It's a good agent, but playing I've experienced before playing the same agent over and over again, and it can get boring really quickly. So he's happy about it, and he's not like a Waylay one trick kind of player. He's played duelists before at a very high level in the past in challengers. Like he has a really good jet raise, neon, everything. Like every single duelist, I'm very confident he's capable of picking it up. Even if he hasn't played it already, he can learn it very quickly. He's a fast learner as well. So we have no issues there, and he's excited to be able to try new challenges.
I talked about that with some people that he's not just a way they one trick. I mean, before the character came
Yeah,
out, he was really good on TSM. He
yeah,
was really good at Neon, and like just I don't think it'll have much effect on his character pool, of course, because like Wei is a
yeah,
newer character for him. And with talking about how it was all he played, he talked about that in the presser about how like it just got boring, just
yeah,
always playing Wei. All right.
exactly.
So on a game day, what is your pregame routine? Either night before, day of, both.
Yeah, for me, the night before, obviously I should prioritize getting good sleep, but the biggest thing I think for me compared to other pros that I've learned is that I like to deathmatch a lot. Like it's kind of like my aim training, I guess. I don't do like Kovacs or I do sometimes, but like I don't really do aim lab or any of that kind of stuff too strictly. I just do it like for fun every here and there. But for me, I like to do death matches. It really gets me in the zone and makes me like locked in, and focused, and kind of yeah, just kind of puts me in flow state. So I like to do like a couple at least the night before, at least probably like three or four. But usually I just play until I feel good, until it feels like I don't have to think about shooting. I just have to and I just shoot and everything feels correct. And I do the same thing the match day. So like the pregame routine before my match, we have time to warm up. I'll be death matching, maybe going over lineups if I need to, these kinds of things.
Do you have anything outside of game that you do? Do you like listen to any music? Do you eat beforehand?
I'd say it's pretty random. Obviously, I do try to get one good meal in before, like a pretty, just a kind of like a just healthy meal. Anything that's like pretty full, make sure that I'm not gonna get hungry during the match. Like so yeah, I'll get a meal in, and then I will drink a little bit of caffeine, but not too much on match day because I'm not someone who can. I don't have a really good caffeine tolerance. I've learned throughout my career, so I'll drink some caffeine, but not too much. Yeah, a meal and and music. Yeah, I do listen to music, but it's kind of random on match day. I don't have like any set like playlist or anything like that.
All right. So moving back to the Valorant side question. So how have you adapted to this faster paced meta? Everyone knows you as like a phenomenal anchor player holding down sites, but with how fast this meta is going, how have you adapted as a player in the server?
Yeah, it's definitely taken a lot getting used to and to just change the way I play. Obviously, I think I am known for my anchoring and just on defense being able to hold it down on the controller agents, but it's so fast paced to the point that it makes it a lot harder for me. I think I would compare it in my I've already made this comparison to people that have asked me, but to Tejo meta, where it felt like it was really hard with rechargeable missiles. It was really hard to find spots to anchor and to just play there. Like everything's getting nuked basically, so it was hard to find any spots to play in. And I would compare that to the double duelist, where it's not. I don't think it's as bad, but Neon and Waylay at their peak, and even Yoru at the peak, was just really hard to find spots to anchor without just getting like overrun. Right now, it feels like you
Mm-hmm.
can get overrun very easily, and it's honestly best to sometimes play retake and to just uh yeah, have a set retake and just bait out utility versus just trying to hold like hard hold the site and play for kills. It's just kind of like a you have to adapt to this kind of meta and change up your playstyle a bit is what I've felt.
Is there any occurrences where spots you'd usually play you feel like are just like unplayable now, like you just can't sit there anymore?
Um, I wouldn't say there's spots that are unplayable, but you just have to be moving a lot more. You can't really stay in one spot because
Hmm.
neons and waylays and like these agents are just like really good at getting like spotting you on minimap. Like you're gonna get minimapped, and people are gonna be able to tell where you're moving to and where you are, and you can't really stay in a spot for too long, or else people will know, and you'll just quickly become like get overrun. You'll get target utility. So
Hmm.
you just have to be on the move. I feel like a lot more in this meta right now. I think for me, like just going back, just saying to your point, I think for in the Tejo meta, it was just like there was some spots you legit you couldn't play. Like there's you can't sit there because you're just gonna get missiled. So that's for me it was like Ascent. I couldn't play Dice or Gen. I was getting missiled. I couldn't play there, and those are my favorite spots in that map on defense. So
Okay, yeah, just it's like so just the pace makes it so it feels like overwhelming.
yeah, it's overwhelming. You can't really sit still. You have to you have to move around or you have to leave. Sadly.
Okay, so moving from 100 Thieves last year to Sen and then back to 100 Thieves, how does the calling style and overall gameplay of a caller like Vora differ for someone like last year, like with a JohnQT?
I think that I think just because of the meta changes as well, I think the just the calls are yeah, they have to be different. We didn't run any double duelists last year. We didn't run any like I guess we didn't run any like Waylay either. Obviously, it wasn't a thing. So I mean, it was, but people were not really playing it. It hadn't been as good as it was. So I think the biggest change, or I think the biggest differences are just like I think for us with Jordan, he offers he's incredibly smart and he offers a lot of insight and like really good calls that I feel like he I think he's just better, quicker at adapting to like things. Let me work on this a bit. Let me think. It's hard
No
for me to
worries.
say. Um, I think John QT, he already had like a year. I think the year before he had a lot of experience and reps with the comps that he was playing, and he already knew a lot of things to call. But Jordan, I feel like Vora, he has to like learn what's good right now, and there's a lot more learning to do for Vora. Obviously for John QT, he had to learn as well because of the Teo changes and just how comps had to change. But he already had a lot of general good ideas that had been working for years, and I could tell when he was calling them, he was like, "This worked on M80 years ago," and he is just like. For Vora, he's newer to IGLing, so he needs like more ideas from us as players who have like veterans like me, Cryo, and Asana to just tell him things that worked for us, and he can implement them into his calling. So I think it's a lot more of a learning process for Vora, but I think he's learning at a very rapid rate, and it's he's really impressive for me.
So it's more of like an experience thing, not in a
Yeah,
negative way, but okay.
not in a negative. Yeah, he has to do more learning, but we're helping him with that, and I think he's excelling very well at it.
So it's less of an experience thing, more he just needs time.
Yeah.
Okay. So coming back to 100 Thieves, some of the parts stayed the same, like Aston and Cryo are still here, but with differences like the addition of Timotino, Vora, NBS, how have you noticed the whole team overall's playstyle change, and how different is it than when you were here before?
Um, I would definitely say things are a lot more fast paced. I think that I think it obviously has to do with the meta, like I said, but I just think that yeah, things are more fast paced with players like if I have Austin and Timotino on my team, like things are going to be like chaotic and fast paced. So that's just what I'm getting used to more. I feel like last year, or sorry, the last time I was 100 Thieves, I was on a team where there's a lot more like there was slow play. We did fast things, but like in general, our micro situations when we took fights and things like this, they were a lot slower and way more like controlled. But with this team, we're learning also that we do prefer slower and controlled play.
Mm-hmm.
But our strengths, like some of our player strengths, are getting in your face, getting like these quick micro fights that you have to kind of adjust to. So I think that for me as a player who's not exactly super like I'm not like a super aggressive micro fight kind of player, and I have to just kind of like make sure my spacing is really good with Tim and Asuna, and just kind of learning that I have to just be kind of quicker and following them up better. I think is for me what I've learned compared to last year, or sorry, compared to 2024, where things were a lot slower and there wasn't really much of learning to do when it comes to just trying to have good spacing. I feel like it was just naturally already happening.
So in the terms of like the microfights, is like in the aggression? Are you talking about like the like Timotino double dash, saturate, shotgun kind of thing? Okay.
You have to make sure, yeah, that these Timotino double dashing, getting info, like with Waylay, it feels like there's a lot more like you have to be aware of your minimap a lot more, and he'll get info for you that like like you need to target utility off of it. So that's something that I've learned, kind of using him for info and being able to create a team fight situation in that when we use like Waylay dashes and recall. So that's something that I've learned, and yeah, just spacing is just way different, and it's just more chaotic, I'd say. And you have to just adapt to that because that's just kind of the meta that we're in. It's not really, I don't think, a player change. Obviously, like I said, Austin and Tim are those super aggressive players who will get in your face, but I think it's also just like that they need to do that in this meta right now.
Yeah, when I talked to Timotino on the press conference about how shotguns are so strong right now and how like he personally thinks that the way to fix it is like make it so you can't jump with the shotgun, so it can't like break somebody's crosshair. Do you think that could be anything behind that in terms of making them?
That could be viable. I do think shotguns need a nerf. I think there's a player in Santiago's Danby who just won the event basically shotgunning throughout so many of the rounds. So it definitely felt like it needed a nerf. It feels like it needs a nerf, and yeah, I don't know exactly what they could do. That's a good idea that Tim brought up, but I'm not too sure of if it would be too bad. But they definitely need to figure out something because it doesn't feel it has been annoying to play against.
Yeah, because Austin talked about how he thinks it would just feel clunky, like it wouldn't work per se.
Yeah.
It would just feel bad. Okay. Upcoming game here against EG rematch. Last game it was really close. You guys were able to pull it out 2-0. How do you feel going into that matchup?
I feel really confident. I think obviously we have a good record against EG. Like JohnQT has a good record against EG, but putting that aside, obviously I think they have a really strong roster, and they gave us they gave us a really hard time last time we played them, like in kickoff. I don't think we were playing at our best, and I think we've learned from the mistakes that we were making. So I think it'll be better this time around, in my eyes. I think if we clean up, we'll have a much better game, and I think it'll probably be cleaner, I'd say. So I'm really confident. Obviously, I think we'll win, and I'm just hoping for a cleaner match than last time.
When I talked to DG, he said he was excited because he's never beaten Cryo like in franchising in a game, so he's looking forward to this one a lot. Do you have any final words for fans of you or 100 Thieves?
Thank you guys so much for the support. I mean, I already said this in a previous interview, but welcoming. Let me repeat that. I already said this in the previous. I already said this in a previous interview, but the fans were so welcoming whenever I came back to the org, so I really appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you guys so much for the support, and hope to see you guys in the Riot Arena if you guys are going to show up to the match.
All right. Thank you very much for your time again, and good luck to you guys in Stage 1.
Thank you.